Live. Let's go live. Let's go live. I mean, it says, what time are we starting? Late. late. Come on, I gotta get myself motivated. Happy Monday. Come on.
It's been dark way too long in this place. That bright smile long gone been replaced. From ear to ear I see that fear in your face. Tell me when the last time you felt safe, cause there's some evil people in the streets. Evil at your front door, creeping while you sleep. It's time to raise up, show that evil we ain't weak. We don't turn the other cheek, I can show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy, I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Now get back up. Get back up. Come on into the chat, y'all. Happy Monday. This is our second to last recap of the season of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And word on the street, we're only going to get 2-part reunion. I guess we'll maybe start there. But we won't get into that. First, we have to do some housekeeping. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Don't forget to vote in our live poll on YouTube. Shout out to everyone watching behind the scenes on TikTok. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. And shout out to everyone watching on Twitch and Twitter. Or X. I don't know what to call it anymore. I'm tired of X. Shout out to the members of our channel. To become a member, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And of course, thank you to our King's Guards that are always here holding us down. I know you guys have jobs and lives and things like that, but we appreciate our King's Guards. So don't forget to say hello and thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down on TikTok, for holding us down on Twitch, Twitter, holding us down, of course, on our YouTube page where we have a lot of you already in the building. Let's get into a countdown to let the notification squad get out there that we are live to recap the second to last episode for season 15 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up, ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse, you make a fire, I'll add the fuel, follow my lead, just watch your shoes, gotta turn the heat up, to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe. It is a subscribers only live chat. And shout out to everyone watching from around the country and around the world. And shout out to our replay and later on crew. Don't forget to do those things like liking the video, letting us know where you're watching from, and your thoughts on the episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is episode 15 of season 15. So I just wanted to grab something before we even get into this because I did do a quick video and a tweet about this yesterday. So I did want to start off this recap by talking about it. So let me just send this to myself. It's a live show. It is what it is. All right. So if you had to rate this episode, of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, how would you rate it from 1 to 10? I didn't think it was a bad episode, maybe because we're winding down. We're getting to see more of what's going on with Candy's storyline, and we're getting more to see what's going on with Sheree and this party. I have to say, the party looked good. You can't take away from this party. Come on now. The party looked good. Sheree looked good. Look at Candace in the back. Okay? This is gorgeous. Here's the thing, though. I know that Sheree's a proud grandma. Okay, she's a proud grandma. However, it just feels very all about Sheree. And I'm not just talking about this party. I'm talking about even when she made the announcement that she was going to be a grandmother. She was in People magazine. I think that was one of the rare times that we actually seen a housewife do something like that. And I was just like, something feels different about this. And then to see that this party, this sip and see, also was in People magazine. Why? But the party looked great. The party looked great, but we'll talk about the party in a second. I want to start off this by talking about this tweet. And shout out to our friends over at OMFG Reality TV. They are always providing us with really great content, including videos and things like that as well. So they posted this tweet yesterday. They said, allegedly, word on the streets, our hashtag RHOA season 15 reunion will only be 2 parts. So of course I got Twitter mad. Because I retweeted it and I said, if this is true, you can expect a shakeup next season. So people were like, what are you talking about? We should normalize making the reunions part 2, 2 parts. A lot of you said it didn't even need 2 parts. A lot of you said it only needed 1 part. But I said that because it's very rare, especially for Atlanta, for us to get a 2-part reunion. The last 2-part reunion that we had in this franchise was Salt Lake City, and you saw how that season went. I'm just like, come on, can we talk? And because of all of the backstory that we're getting now, Kenya doesn't seem to be happy. Is Kenya going to be leaving? She's tweeting, talking about how production is favoring Marlo. She's talking about that in her interview with Carlos King. She's doing an interview with Carlos King, who basically just had the arch enemy of the network on his podcast. And they've been slamming Real Housewives of Atlanta for months now. So I'm just telling you, I'm just putting all the clues together. The writing is on the wall. And look, I get it. Yes, we should normalize not extending reunions to 3 parts if it doesn't need it. If it doesn't need it. But when I heard this, I was like, well, if it's 2 parts, this is not necessarily a good sign for Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's not. No matter how you want to flip it. It's not a good sign, especially when was the last time we had a 2-part reunion for Atlanta? Season 1? Look, y'all know I don't remember all those things, but you guys will remind me. When was the last time we had a 2-part reunion for a season on Atlanta? And all of you have been saying Real Housewives of Atlanta needs to be rebooted completely. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I don't think that's going to happen. However, you guys have not been happy, and the ratings have been decent for Atlanta. Not terrible, because a lot of you are watching on streaming. We don't have those numbers, but a lot of you have been unhappy with this cast, unhappy with production specifically. So a lot of you are saying we need an overhaul. I don't think you're going to get a whole overhaul, but I do think you're going to get a shakeup based on things I'm hearing behind the scenes. Oh. But I'll forgive you when I'm right. Tauruses are always right, even when we're wrong. Even when we're wrong. Anyways, so our friends over at OMFG Reality TV posted this. They said, we will know possibly by later this week whether or not it's going to be a 2-part reunion. But the fact that we're calling it out, maybe it will be longer. But a lot of you said it could be 1 part. You don't need 2 parts. Thank you, Donovan. Donovan says season 2 was the last. Season 2 was the last. Lies, oh wait, no. Donovan, thank you for Googling and schmoogling. Donovan says season 2 was the last 2-part reunion that we had in Atlanta. Thank you, Donovan, for that. All right, let's get into this situation because we got to talk about Kenya too. Kenya's been spilling on social media as well, but we'll get into that in just a second. But speaking of Kenya, the opening scene is with Kenya and Cynthia. I don't know about you, and I know, rewind the tape. Look, rewind the tape. I know. I dragged Cynthia Bailey during her COVID wedding season, but she needed to be dragged then, okay? But it's been so nice having Cynthia back. Do I need her to be full-time? I don't know about that. But it was nice having Cynthia back. I love her commentary. I love seeing Cynthia. we saw a lot of Cynthia in these last couple of episodes, and we've gotten a full update. The opening scene is Cynthia saying, "I finalized my divorce," and then her shading Kenya in her confessional. Girl, I got married and divorced. Wrap up your divorce. Wrap up your divorce. Shade, but only your friends can shade you like that, like your real friends. All right. All right. So we have that. Then we have Drew on set for the movie The Pass. And we got quite a few different scenes with Drew on set. And Candy and Todd are giving Drew all the flowers. She's doing an incredible job. She's giving us a great performance. Because, you know, she's playing this woman, this married woman, right? She's a married woman who gets the pass. And she gets turned out by this lesbian. And they're filming a lot of the stuff at Candy's home. And Candy's like, I don't know how I feel about that. They're even doing that sex scene in Candy's bed. She's like, I don't know about how I feel about that. Because our home, especially as tourists, our home is our sanctuary. You're lucky that we even film in Candy's home. Because I'm just saying, it's our sanctuary. We're not showing that to the world. We're not having Drew with all her juices and stuff on my bed. Not juices. Wait a minute. What? On my bed? No. So, but according to Todd, because you know Todd is all about saving his money, Todd was like, well, we're saving like 6 figures by doing everything at the house. But here's the thing. Remember Candy's estate? It's 2 houses. If I was Candy, I would turn that other house into sort of like a studio, like a home studio situation. I don't know what's already over there. I know she has like a play area, but I would turn that into like, you know, candy coated studio, at home studio, like for music and for movie things like that. That way you don't have to come into my bedroom. Not into my bedroom. I'm surprised Candy's still at that house. I mean, she likes that house. I just feel like, you know, at this point, I mean, Candy's made a lot of money since then. But, you know, Candy's frugal. She's frugal. All right, we'll get back to the movie in a second. And shout out to our members of the channel. I saw some of our members of the channel that have been members for 2 years. We appreciate you guys. So shout out to our members. We appreciate that. All right. Thank you. El Singleton says, Team Taurus here, and I co-signed the Kempire's message. It's true. Look. Just saying. All right. So Sonia goes to Dr. Jackie, and I love seeing Dr. Jackie in these random scenes when someone's pregnant on this cast and they go to Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is that doctor in Atlanta. And I know a lot of you said seeing Dr. Jackie made you miss Married to Medicine. November 5th, the last day of BravoCon. Married to Medicine will be returning. So I will not be partying with you guys at BravoCon that night. I'll be in my hotel watching, look, Married to Medicine. I think I'll be tired, way tired by then. So we get Dr. Jackie meeting with Sonia because Sonia, and guys, you saw the preview, spoiler alert, you saw the preview for next week. So the pregnancy that we see on the show is the one that Sonia opened up about losing before she got pregnant again, based on what we're seeing for the preview for next week. But she goes to Dr. Jackie with Deuce. So Deucey is a part of this appointment. Dr. Jackie's sort of like, maybe you shouldn't have told him so early. Because she's very early. She's what, 5 weeks? Wait a second. Did she say she was 5 weeks? Did she tell the group that she was pregnant too? Aren't you supposed to wait like 12 weeks before you start telling people? Right? I don't know. I've never been pregnant. And look, I don't want to mansplain to people. Isn't it though? This is how I learned. Asking questions. Okay. Oh, yes. People in my TikTok said yes, supposed to. So I'm actually surprised that she told the group. I can understand telling her husband and even telling her family and even telling her son, but telling the group, 12 weeks. Thank you. Lawyer Mom on TikTok just told me, yeah, 12 weeks. So why did she tell the group so early? Unless the timeline is not timelining in regards to how this show is being edited. I honestly wouldn't have told, or maybe she wanted it to be on the show. I don't know. Look, I don't know. I hope production didn't tell her that she should tell them. Okay. Anyways, but we do find out in next week's episode that she ended up losing that particular child, and now she's pregnant again. So congratulations to Sonya. I love seeing Dr. Jackie be the black excellence in medicine that she is. Come on, one time for Dr. Jackie. Because here's the thing. Every time Dr. Jackie speaks about pregnancy and especially the mortality rate among black women in pregnancy, it's so important. It needs to be said. And because of doctors like her, she makes the extra effort when there are tons of doctors that don't take that extra effort for black women when they go in and they're pregnant. So every time she's on television, she's always making a point to point it out. And she's always trying to teach everyone something. So I always appreciate when I see Dr. Jackie. She may be boring on Married to Medicine as a reality TV star, but I appreciate her smartness. You know what I mean? I always appreciate a doctor, though. Anyone else? Because to be a doctor, you got to go through a lot of schooling. I'm just saying. Okay, some doctors. Not the one that killed Michael Jackson. Oh, okay. All right. Where did that come from? We'll talk more about Michael Jackson tomorrow during our Tuesday takeover. What? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll talk about that tomorrow. All right. All right. So she goes in and Sonya goes into Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Jackie is confirming that she is pregnant because, she just took the at-home test. Ducey is there being a part of this process. She says that Ducey wants to be a big brother. He's excited for this baby. So when she loses the baby next week, it's pretty traumatic for not just her, but also Ducey. That's sad. That's really, really sad. So we're back on set with Drew, part of the Past movie, and Todd is in his element, all right? As I said to you before, they are filming in Candy's house. According to Todd, they're saving 6 figures. They're saving 6 figures. However, did they ever get that generator for OLG? Come on. Did they ever get that? Look, did they ever get it?
Fuck your flowers.
Did they ever get it? I want to know. You're saving 7 figures? Just saying. And that's 7 figures. I keep saying 7 figures. They're saving 6 figures, but that's a lot of money they're saving by filming at their house. But the way I'm set up, and the way I'm sure Candy's set up too, I would spend that 6 figures so y'all not with Drew and her juices on my bed. Come on. Oh, wait. Where's my thing?
MC.
I don't know, because I believe in energy and like I would sage the hell out of that room. Candy, if you haven't already, sage the hell out of that room. Especially Drew. Oh, Drew, I got something for you today. Drew, you ungrateful mother. You are so shady. Are you sure you're a Taurus? Let me see your birth certificate. Because she has not one loyal bone in her body. Yeah, all right, we'll get back to that. So, but Drew's doing a great job on set. Okay, she's doing a great job on set. First of all, Candy is doing the damn thing when it comes to doing this movie, though, because like did you see Drew's trailer? I didn't expect all of these things, especially when they're cutting corners for everything else. So I was just like, oh, look at Drew's trailer. It was a nice trailer, very nice trailer. We'll get back to the trailer in a second. So she's catching up with Monyetta because Monyetta's also in the movie, and Drew says, she's very nervous. Of course, Candy's shading her about being nervous about kissing a woman because she's like, you already done it. Look, you already done it. How you doing? But, and I think this is fairly new, where they have intimacy coaches to help people on set. And when I say fairly new, it's important to have an intimacy coach because you also don't, in the age of Me Too, you also don't want people crossing lines and doing things that they shouldn't be doing during these very intimate scenes. But Candy has employed an intimacy coach to help Drew in this moment, to get the full effect. All right. But then they bring up the video about Courtney calling Drew a bitch. However, when Candy sees the video, and when you all saw the video, you're all like, wait, is she calling Drew a bitch or is she calling Sonya a bitch? honestly, even if she was calling Drew a bitch, they got me cussing today. Even if she was calling Drew, I felt as if it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't like she is a bitch. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. I feel like it's just, Courtney wasn't being Courtney like this because Courtney's not who she says she is. Courtney is someone that uses the B word because she's like, I don't even use the B word. And then in the same breath, it's just like, well, this bitch. Wait a minute, Courtney. Courtney. All right. So I don't even care that she called Drew a bitch because I don't feel like she was being necessarily malicious towards Drew in that moment. I think very much like how Marlo has said, I called everybody a bitch. That's how I took it. I didn't feel like it was necessarily malicious, but when you watch the video, you're not sure if she's talking to Sonya or if she's talking to Drew in that moment. But Manyetta's was like, but why would she say it to Sonya? And Sonya's right there. Manyetta, you may have been caught up in a situation where you thought you were carrying some tea and it wasn't some tea. Manyetta trying to be relevant on this show, y'all. I'm sorry, Manyetta. Bye. I'm sorry. Manyetta's a lovely, lovely woman. She is a part of the social scene in Atlanta. Well, continue to go do your social scene, girl. Thank you for your services. Bye, girl. Okay. Bye, girl. Because she thought she had something. She was like, she got some collusion. She said she got some collusion. Girl. Girl. Anyways. All right. So Sheree meets with her party planner, her event planner for, honestly, I got a little nervous. Anytime Sheree meets with someone that she has to pay, I get nervous for them. I hope that she's going to pay them. Okay? So I got nervous for this young man. And this young man did the damn thing. He did the damn thing. All of this that he did for Sheree's sip and see, I don't even want to call it a sip and see because it really wasn't a sip and see. It was about come see me in my party. He did the damn thing with the flowers everywhere. Hold on. Look at this. This is gorgeous. For those that are watching on TikTok, if you head on over to YouTube, you can see what I'm showing on my screen right now. Look at this. This is for Mecca. All those beautiful pictures of Mecca. You know what I do love, y'all? And I would love to do something like that in the studio for like a celebration. And if you guys know of anyone here in the New York City area that will do it for me, I would love to do a whole balloon situation behind me for 300,000 subscribers. Come on now. I'm sure there's plenty. I just got to Google schmoogle it myself. But, if you got a reputable person, black-owned business, let me know. I'll pay for all of this. Look. This was gorgeous. Look, gorgeous. So she meets with a party planner and, she's like, I wanted to do fabulous. I want to do this. I want to do that. And there's no budget. So where's Sheree getting this money? Maybe Bob is paying for this because, Bob didn't give her those 7 figures. So he still got his money. But he got a whole lot of kids. He got a lot of grown kids, though. All of his kids are grown at this point. Lavender says a little too gaudy for me. Here's the thing. I didn't think it was gaudy. It was a lot from Sheree. All right. But who paid for this? Who paid for it? I want to know. Dina says it's beautiful. Maybe. Pam, thank you so much for the super chat. Pam says, can we talk about how it was 79 degrees in Candy and Todd's house while filming that movie? Too damn hot. Wait, they showed the degrees? How much it was in there? Maybe that was intentional. But when you have all of those lights, like even in my studio, I have a lot of lights on and things like that. So I have to keep the studio at a certain temperature, 60 something degrees. And sometimes I turn on the fan to keep, because it's a lot of equipment. So I can only imagine it probably was really hot in there. They need to turn up that AC. Pam, thank you for pointing that out. And thank you for the super chat. Guys, don't forget, you can also support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and checking out some of the content that we put out over the weekend. We put out a lot of shorts content on YouTube and, of course, on TikTok. TikTok, keep tapping your screens. Let's get to 10,000 likes. We appreciate you watching from behind the scenes. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook as well. Don't forget to like us there. And if you haven't liked us on Facebook, what are you doing? What are you doing? And over the weekend, we also released a new episode of our podcast, Kempire Radio. So if you've been looking for my part 2 of the And Just Like That conversation, be Be sure to check that out. But I also talk about Nene. I talk about some other pop culture news during this episode of the podcast, and it is a podcast exclusive. So you will not see a video version of this episode on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. But last week's episode, you will see the visual version this week. So if you haven't subscribed to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, go subscribe. All right. Moving back to on set. Okay. Oh wait, no. So Sheree is like, there's no budget. She's ready to go to have a big party. So then we go into Drew's sex scene. All right. So Drew has this sex scene and we're getting to see it. Here's the thing. Candy, you're smart. I don't know if this was intentional or if you predicted this. However, right now, the writers and the acting strike, you can't promote any of your stuff. Like, you can't go and promote. But because she's on a reality show, she can promote technically through this reality show, this movie. She said, stay tuned for an announcement on when we can expect the pass. But the fact that we were able to promote it technically just from seeing this whole process in this episode, I thought to myself, I was like, well, that was brilliant. Look, wasn't that brilliant? Because they technically can't promote anything right now. Sister Move says, is the movie out though? Not yet. It's coming to a Tubi near you, I think. Is it coming on Tubi? Have they announced that? Y'all love a Tubi, so I'm never going to shade Tubi. Y'all love a Tubi, so apparently Tubi's doing things. I mean, it's free, so I guess advertising dollars? I have never watched a Tubi anything, but I might watch The Pass. I might. Just saying. All right, moving on. Focus. So we have this scene with Drew, and she says that she isn't naturally attracted to women. The lie detector said.
Lies! The lie!
I don't know, but Drew's a church girl. Who knows? All right, so we get to see the inner makings of this sex scene with Drew and this other actress. And Todd and Candy seem very impressed. Moneta seems very impressed. Oh, see, here we go. Leah TV says, Tubi has a lot of gems. They do make a lot from ads. That's what I figured. For it to be free, that's the only way that they're going to generate money. So, and a lot of you always talk about things that you've watched on Tubi. You like to shade Tubi, but it's a platform and people are watching. Oh, Claire says, no Tubi slander allowed. Well, it's a free world. We can if we want to. Swearing Help says the movie sounds like Indecent Proposal. I mean, that's the kind of feel that I get, except it's black. But we'll see. Todd is very passionate about it. He has this major platform. Look, I'm never going to hate on them because they have a major platform where they're able to promote this Tubi movie. Other Tubi movies don't get the same platform. Just saying. All right, moving on. So we get that scene. We get to see this whole making of this scene with Drew and this other actress, all right? And Drew is doing the damn thing. Marlo hosts this Foster Care Friday event, all right? So, Marlo's story for the last few years is that, she was in the foster care system. And so, of course, this season, she's going to throw an event celebrating some people that have made it out of foster care and have been successful. It looked like a really cute event. And here's the thing. I want to be happy about an event like this because what Marlo is talking about is important when it comes to the foster care system. However, I think, like we say with Bethany, wrong messenger. I think that's what it is. We get lost in it doesn't feel authentic from Marlo, but I'm glad that we're able to talk about it. Well, in the sneak peek for Kenya's part 2 conversation with Carlos King, she has a few things to say about Marlo and how she feels that production has been protecting her this entire season. And she says that she has never felt protected by production. Take a look.
And you're over here 6 weeks in. And you're picking fights with Candy that makes no sense. Then she started, after that ended, and the managers got together and said, okay, let's figure out a storyline. And then you go find Scotch Brite You find Scotch Brite to sit up here and play your boyfriend. Okay, so that's your new storyline. You're so soft and gentle now. All of a sudden, you so pink inside. It ain't making sense. The math ain't mathing. And everybody can see it. In fact, so many comments are like, who is she blowing on production? What is happening?
Kenya.
No, it's the truth. If you didn't want me here to tell you the truth, then don't.
Oh, no, I want you here, honey. Let's be clear. Don't dispute
I'm just
that.
saying, so please don't, listen.
Is Marlo being favored or protected?
Of course, yes, absolutely. And that is what has taken the wind out of me this season, in part. Because I'm like, no matter what I do, I was never protected. And that makes me angry as a housewife. I was never protected. I was always the one that everybody came for. Production was like, we don't GAF. And I got all the smoke. And I got no protection. And you are sitting here making somebody who season 1 lied about everything, including to everybody's face about using the F word. I didn't say it. The F bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the gay slur. The gay slur.
Swore up and down she never said it until somebody had to produce the footage where she said it. To me, it's just like, no, if you're going to come and really show your life, show your life. We know the facts beyond the facts at this point. We don't have to even say it. The money cannot be verified. The dates cannot be verified. The timelines cannot be verified. But that's not what we're talking about. We over here talking about candy in a restaurant. Then after that failed, then you over here chasing me around restaurants that got conveniently cut out. Group scenes, all kind of scenes of mine conveniently got cut out. Storylines of mine got cut out. But somehow an angel with foster care scene turns up, and that makes the cut.
That makes the cut. So this morning when I woke up, I saw Oliver Anthony, who's good friends with Kenya, post a tweet talking about how production is pretty much wiping out any of Kenya's storyline for the season. And Kenya's storyline this season, along with still divorcing Mark, is opening this hair salon. And we saw clips of this whole hair salon scene and party that was thrown. And apparently all the housewives except one, Marlo, attended. So we don't think that we're going to see it. So first, I'm just going to show you what Oliver Anthony said. Then I'm going to show you what Kenya said. If I can find the tweet. Hold on. There it goes. So Oliver Anthony said this, and he's a producer for Entertainment Tonight. And he says, the RHOA producers are actively not showing Kenya's storyline. They seem to be pushing her out, and that's unfortunate. She hosted an event where the full cast except one showed up. Cynthia and Claudia went as well, and they cut it. All right. So then I saw Kenya's tweet confirming all of this. So Truth Be Told on Twitter said, I'm ready to see Kenya Moore hair spa next week. And she says, I think it was edited out. RHOA, despite having the entire cast there except one, and Miss Cynthia Bailey and Claudia Jordan, and it being my main storyline. And I told you already know how I feel about Kenya Moore and her construction. I have a whole spinoff planned for her. Kenya Moore fixes it. And it could be construction, and then it could be something else in other seasons. So we haven't seen all season the building of Kenya Moore's hair spa. And I was actually looking forward to it. And it's very apparent. It does seem like production does have some favoritism towards certain housewives, at least in these last couple of seasons. I don't know why. Because at the end of the day, they shouldn't favor anyone. They should be favoring the bigger picture when it comes to the show. The show should come first. The entertainment value. You're producing entertainment for people. And so far, people are not entertained by what you're trying to put together. And the editing this season seems so all over the place. It's sort of like, where are we? What are we doing? And remember a couple of weeks ago, I said to you, you know how everyone keeps saying that you need to get rid of the housewives, some of the housewives from Atlanta? And then I said, no, I think it more has to do, we have to do something in regards to production. And look, remember, it was a couple of seasons ago, I think right before season 14, that producers allegedly that were in Potomac were sent down to Atlanta to produce. because, you know, Potomac was doing so well. So they were like, oh, let's bring those guys down here and let them shake it up. So don't be surprised when I say shake up, you won't see just a cast shake up. You may see a production shake up. Same production company, but different producers. And I also told you that I felt as if that Kenya Moore wasn't happy when we reviewed and recapped part 1 of her interview with Carlos King. I said, some of the things that Kenya's saying in this interview makes me believe that she's unhappy and she could be out. She could be out for next season. And remember, we just had the reunion, and usually right after the reunion is when production and Bravo starts figuring out who's coming back and who's not coming back. So it made me wonder, especially because of what Kenya's been saying recently. It's like, clearly she's not happy with production, and clearly she's trying to make a point here with some of the things that she's saying and doing on social media and in this interview. Part 2 should be interesting. You're welcome, Carlos. We will be talking about your interview. Okay. So I have a feeling that we will have a lot to talk about in the coming weeks. Because the reunion, which I already told you might be a 2-part reunion, which we haven't had, according to our friends that just Google schmoogled it. We haven't had a 2-part reunion in Atlanta since season 2. Well, but I see what some of you are saying. Some of you are like, bye, Kenya, don't come back. But I do very much like what Nene has said, what Carlos has said, what they've said about each other. I believe Kenya is a vital part of Atlanta's history. I can see her still being a vital part of its future. I just feel like she's bored. She really is bored. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But the way that things are playing out these last couple of weeks, it looks like Kenya Moore might be done with Atlanta. Look, blink Kenya if you're ready to go. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. You're missing out. I know you think just by liking the video that all my videos are showing up on your algorithm. No. You better turn on your notifications. You better subscribe. You better follow me on social media because I'm always promoting and talking about other things on other platforms. So be sure to follow us at TheKempire on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, X, whatever. So you're not missing out on anything. And I saw one of my sisters are in here. Hold on. Grace Report is in. Grace, you've been a member for 17 months? Come on now. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Grace Report, be sure to subscribe. Grace says, in celebrating 17 months, she says, Kenya is done. Looking good, Dimples. Thank you. I just saw your video that you put on TikTok. You looking good, too. And living your best life in Europe. I know that's right. Thanks, Grace. I'm going to text you later. I got something. Samira, thank you so much for the super chat. Samira says, Sheree should be an event planner instead of... Here's the thing, though. Let's not give her too much credit. She hires event planners. That all wasn't her idea. That was all the creativity of that event planner. Okay, she just likes grandiose things. She knows what she likes. I used to work with an events team. I wasn't in events, but I worked closely to people that worked in events. That's a hard job. Okay, let's not give her too much credit. All right, she barely wants to pay people. So, speaking of which, because I watched the after show. They released it actually early this week. So I watched the after show. And Marlo, speaking of Marlo, and speaking of paying people, they had nerve to shade Candy about paying people. Really?
We can run it.
Sorry, it's hot, Chef.
It is hot.
But they're good friends. They're super close friends. They're sisters. But you know what, too? It could be because Candy don't like to pay a lot.
There you go. Candy don't like to pay.
Not a lot.
Oh, no.
No, she'll pay, but it's going to be that much.
It's going to be little. Yeah.
That much.
Oh, well,
so she might as well not pay.
That's a deal breaker.
Her and Todd even tried to get me on a movie. A show. They wanted me because, I was fashion.
Okay.
That was I was looking at kind of, no. I see what God got in store. Yeah. I
I'll take it to the mountain. I'll take my trips.
Sheree, of all people in the chat, in this conversation, it's just like, oh, no, she don't like to pay people. Let me tell you something, because y'all gonna say Candy paying me at this point. Come on, based off the history of what we've seen on this show, Candy's not the one with the reputation of not paying people. Sheree, you should have piped up real quick about paying people. You had to be corrected by Kenya during last season's reunion about just because you don't like someone's work doesn't mean you shouldn't pay them. It doesn't work that way in business. You had to be corrected about that because you really stood 10 toes down. Well, I didn't like the work, so I didn't pay them. No, it don't work like that. When you contract someone to do something for you, you gotta pay them. They're always coming out of left field trying to come for Candy don't like to pay people. Really? Even Sonya was just like, Candy don't like to pay? Candy don't like to pay? I had to go, I was like, really? Sidebar, did you see Candy was blowing up, what was it, Xfinity? Was it Xfinity? The cable provider on social media? She was on hold for forever. Did not Candy being on hold. They don't got a VIP line for Candy when she called. The comments, all of you are saying Xfinity's trash, Xfinity's trash. You got to do this. You got to do this when you call. I'm gonna stick with my my Verizon. 'Cause, all right. Let me get back into our recap. Guys, you're just joining us. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta and all of the side stories that are going on in regards to social media. Had to include some of that with this. So let me get back into this episode, okay? And yes, we will be taking callers first from members. If you are a member of the channel, I will be posting a call-in link on the community tab in just a few. If you haven't already, general audience, we will drop the call-in link for you as well once we get to a certain number. We already have almost 2,400 of you here for our recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So let's get those likes up, because liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels like Grace Report that talk about pop culture, that talk about reality TV, will start to show up on your algorithm. All right. So be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Let me also say thank you. We had quite a few super chats that came in, and shout out to all of you that send in super chats. That also helps support creators like myself be able to talk about things freely without relying on ad dollars. Okay. So thank you so much for that. Joyce, thank you so much for the super chat. And I love that you have Aaliyah as your avatar. Joyce says, imagine Kenya on RHOP. I mean, she's really good friends with Giselle. I don't know. I really want to see Kenya do something else. I really want her to elevate what she's doing with Kenya Moore Hair Care. It's already doing very well for herself. So, and remember, she's opening up a shop in Atlanta. So she really can't leave Atlanta right now until she gets the shop off the ground. You know what I mean? So I just don't want to see that happen right now. LaShonda, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate you supporting the channel as well. All right. Zoe, thank you so much for the super chat. Zoe says, Sonya laughing as if Candy didn't just take her to a fully paid vacation. Yo, clap one. You're right. Oh my God. But you know Sonya. Miss Bernice, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Bernice says the Sanderson sisters have brought the show down. Winnie and her David Ruffin stepchild gives good parties. Y'all are a mess today. Thank you, Miss Bernice. We appreciate the support. All right. Hold on. Let me just bring this up. Hold on. Thank you so much, Denisha, for the super chat. We appreciate you supporting the channel as well. Thank you. All right. So back to this. Oh, Lord. Okay, so Marlo has her foster care event, okay? I love seeing the blue. I didn't know the blue ribbon was for foster care. Love that. I like the idea of what's happening here. Again, because it's Marlo, it's hard to kind of really appreciate what she's talking about because she's so inauthentic sometimes. But I appreciate bringing it to the forefront, okay? So she talks about, she says she gets a little emotional when she thinks that Sheree's not going to come. She's like, well, she's not going to be here. What's gonna bother me? All right, whatever, Marlo. Because it's her event. It's being filmed. She wants all of the cast, including an OG there. All right. So that's what that's more about. That's how I feel. All right. Not Scotty. What's his name? Scottley. There we go. Scottley does arrive. And here's the thing. No one believes this relationship. And what I noticed both with Marlo and with Sheree this episode, these guys that they've been talking to, dating for at least a few, based off the timeline of what we're seeing, at least a few months. Every time you greet them, it's like greeting a friend. I feel like if I see Grace Report in the street, I'm gonna at least kiss her on her cheek. These people they're dating, they're supposedly having sex, and still we are kissing on the hey, nice to see you for my contractual obligation. What? We know this is not a real relationship. This is a contractual relationship. I wouldn't be surprised if production was like, we got to have you some sort of man during the season. I know the right guy here in Atlanta. We can promote his business. There'll be a great look for him. Of course, he's gonna do it. I can't be mad at Scottley because you know us Jamaicans, we're always gonna have multiple jobs and multiple streams of income. Good for you, Scottley. I'm not mad at you, Scottley. I'm still mad at Marlo and this fake relationship. And every time she tries to talk about, well, you know, I'm looking for a husband, and you know, he's a little young. He's always doing this. He's doing that. But look, he always shows up for me. Oh, he's a superhero. He's a this and he's that. I don't get any vibes that Marlo's into this man, and not even a peck on the mouth when you see this man. And this is someone that you're dating. Not even a peck on the mouth. But Scottley's committed to his role. He was like, "You looking good. You looking sexy. You like?" And she's so awkward. She's like, "You like the bob? You like the bob?" Oh wait, hold on.
You like the bob?
So awkward. So awkward. Exactly, Vicky. Vicky says they need some acting lessons. I can help them. And my thing, I'm not saying for them to slob each other down when you see them, but you could at least, Maybe because in my early years I pretended to be straight. So maybe that's why I could do this so well. I can even pretend to be straight on this reality show if y'all needed me to. Hey, boo. There I go. Hey, boo. Come on. I'm a fool. All right. Let's move on. So Drew and Ralph. Oh my God. This scene in the trailer was a mess. First of all, Drew, the fact that Drew was shading Kandi in this production, she was like, because they filmed like 10 scenes in a night because they're only filming for a short period of time. It's a low budget production. She knew what she was signing up for. Drew, you haven't been in a lot in the last couple of years. Yes, I know you did that Lifetime movie, but you're not an A-list actress. All right? VK said, Kemp, some of us want to see the pearly gates. You know what? K-Babe says, Kempire, if you pretend to be straight, you deserve an Oscar. Well, you know what? The early years before being gay was all right. And you won't get killed for it. Well, no, you still get it. But I'm just saying, I told you I was bi for a summer. I'll save that story for the podcast. All right, focus. So she is so shady. Drew. So she's running lines with this guy, and she's like, she's not used to, doing, 10 scenes in one day. And she's like, well, the next time I do something, I'm going to, it has to be Lifetime and then up. Lifetime and up. Lifetime and up. Girl. Drew. Stop it. Because my thing is that you didn't have to take this. You didn't have to take this opportunity. And I can see that Kandi and Todd are really trying to make Drew feel comfortable. They're really trying to, You see her trailer. Her trailer's gorgeous. Even has a bed in it. Look, even has a bed in it. I just feel like Drew shows no loyalty. She shows no grace. I thought that was so shady for what she said. I was like, really? Come on now. Anyways, that scene wasn't about that. However, Ralph shows up. All right. So apparently Drew said, I think this was in the after show. Drew says that when she did a movie with Christian Keys, Ralph was very insecure. He was on set acting all kind of bravado and things like that, to the point where the director had to, take him away. You know what I mean? So first of all, I have to say this. I didn't like the fact, I don't know Ralph's relationship with this man that was sitting with Drew, but he was just like, what did he say? I think I wrote it down. What did he say to this man? He said, you're going to be able to squeeze out of there? Because the man, he's a little heavy set. He's like, you're going to be able to squeeze out of there? Ralph, these are the moments y'all need to pay attention when it comes to Ralph. These are the moments you need to pay attention to. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn off my my notifications. Hold on. All right. There we go. Guys, don't forget, at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. PST, we will be recapping Real Housewives of New York. So stay tuned for that. So I have to finish this up really quickly soon so I can go rewatch the episode. So I'll see you at 5:30 for that. Anyway, so back to this. So when he says that, I was like, ew. Anyways, it gets worse. Ralph must have been on something on this day, because he starts talking about the scene that she's having with this woman. And now he wants to actually see the scene. He was like, did you orgasm? And she's like, so like taken aback by his questions. He was like, were you munching? And he's like, I want to see the scene. Did anyone else cringe? I cringed. I was like, and then part of me sort of like, Drew, you deserve this man, because every time we see you doing something and him doing something, I'm like, y'all deserve each other. Y'all deserve each other. But he's disgusting. Ugh. Look. Ugh. But we're already seeing the signs, and next week we will see. And if you watch this episode, it does feel as if this was supposed to be the season finale, this episode, but we know what happens. Both Drew and Ralph run to the courthouse to file for divorce. And then the cameras pick back up after a month of them being done. So that's a preview that we see for next week. But before we even talk about that, moving on from Drew and Ralph's cringy scene here, we then get the Sheree's party. We get Sheree's party. Sheree and her family are celebrating the sip and see for Mecca, the little baby right there. But we all believe that this party wasn't about Mecca at all. This party was about Sheree. And all of Atlanta was invited to this party. Sheree has a beautiful home. A beautiful home. However, this party was not about Mecca. The People magazine layouts were not about Mecca. She had everybody named Mama, including this one. Hold on. Where's my pictures? This one. She had this one at her party. Mind you, she fell out with Anthony, Drew's old assistant, apparently Sheree's old assistant. She fell out with Anthony last season. But apparently Anthony is the one that introduced Sheree to Martell. So he's the one who came up with this, because he's in marketing, came up with this scheme that Todd set up for the BS that brought it to us this season. So Drew calls Candy and says, I'm not coming in there, because she saw that Anthony was there. And she says that Anthony threw a shoe at her. It's not funny. Anthony decides to get involved when Candy comes back inside and says, like, Drew's outside. She doesn't want to come in because Anthony's here. He was just like, I love women. I would never hurt a woman. She threw her bag at me first. Apparently the police were called. I don't know if things were filed, but the police were called. I'm just so mad that y'all giving Anthony any sort of light. I didn't even want to even talk about Anthony, but y'all bringing Anthony on this show. But Katie even says it in her confessional. She's like, she believes that he's being messy. She believes that he's starting stuff. But I also believe that Sheree wants to start stuff and she wants to produce a moment. She's probably in cahoots with production and wants to produce a moment. And that's why she invited Anthony. Oh, yes. Martell's at this event as well. Martell was there last night. Do we care? Look, do we care? Martell was there. Martell will always look good in a suit. I'm going to give him that. I'm going to start off with something nice. All right? He will always look good in a suit. Not Sheree's boyfriend. Sheree's boyfriend who she will never kiss on camera. Not even a peck on the mouth does he get. You're not getting a peck on the mouth, but we're supposed to believe that y'all are getting down in the bedroom. He calling you in Portugal. You know, I haven't gone this long without being with you.
Lies, the lie.
This is where production failed us. These unbelievable relationships and storylines this season. Unbelievable. So Martell's there. Bob Whitfield's there. Wait, I got a good picture of Bob. Where's Bob? Hold on. Let me bring it. Bob and those eyes. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, Bob. But I just can't help it. Can we talk, Bob? Can we talk? Can we talk? All right. You know what? No matter what, Bob produced some beautiful children. Produced some beautiful children. Where's the picture of the kids? Hold on. Oh, let me bring a picture of the kids. Nope. Look, hold on. Nope. Where are the kids? Oh, wait. He's got beautiful kids, but the way they set up poor Candace in the back. Poor Candace is trying to get into the photo. But look at her other kids. First of all, Sheree said, I didn't expect to be a grandmother, maybe in like 10 years. You got a full-grown daughter that's in her 30s, and you didn't expect to be a grandmother? Yet? Really? So, of course, the ladies are like, who's this other lady that's in photos? Like, Bob is taking photos with his son and this woman. They're thinking that, oh, is that his new girlfriend? Only come to find out that Candace is his other child that Sheree had no idea about. And he invited this child to this taped sip and see without telling Sheree. But Bob's always been trash. So I'm not even surprised. I'm not going to say that this was production. I'm not going to say that Sheree is lying that she never knew about. I believe Sheree, she never knew about this other child. All right. Poor Candace seems very sweet. But I also don't think Bob knew about this child for a long time, too, based on what Sheree was saying. And apparently the kids, Sheree's kids, knew about Candace and didn't tell her. I want to give the kids some grace. I'm thinking the kids found out about this other child and probably thought the mom knew. They probably thought their mom knew. Possibly. And if not, maybe they didn't want to hurt their mom. Maybe they knew their mom wouldn't care. You know what I mean? Maybe they knew that Sheree wouldn't care. She definitely pretended like she didn't care. And why would she? Her and Bob haven't been together in a long time. Over how many years? The show has been on for 15 years. They were already divorcing when she came on the show. So she's been long over Bob in a long time. Why was Martell there? So Kenya and Martell, because Kenya wants to finalize some things with him and say, speak her piece with him. Kenya denies ever cursing at Martell. Then they play the tape. Kenya then also said, I felt like I needed to defend myself. I wasn't here with my man, so I had to defend myself. And then Sheree shades her in her confessional. You're never here with a man. I could have did without that. Kenya, you didn't have to apologize to Martell. You didn't need to do anything. This is not a real relationship. The contract is up. We won't see Martell or maybe even Sheree next season. So we're good. Just saying. What else happened at the sip and see? Oh, finally, after everyone has... First of all, y'all saw the amount of people that were in Sheree's house? That is a nightmare to me. And apparently, Mecca's nightmare. Poor Mecca is being escorted finally out because everyone's waiting to see the baby. That's the whole point of this party. Not one other kid in sight. Not another kid in sight. I see the gays are there. I see all of Atlanta's there. We got the cast there. We see some familiar faces there. We even get to see Shamia. Apparently, Shamia knows Courtney. Candy shaded her too. She was like, at least somebody in this group knows who Courtney is. Oh, come on. I thought that was funny. I also thought it was funny that Candy pointed out, I've never seen you without a hat. Like, you never see me without a hat? I can still have my edges. Bobblehead mother. I'm playing. All right. So, let me focus. What was I talking about? All right. So she finally comes out. Sheree finally comes out with Mecca, and Mecca seems frightened AF. Wouldn't you be frightened? You see all of these grown adults. Her house is packed with people looking like, oh, the poor baby's like, who are these people? Just so that Sheree can have a moment, just so that Sheree could film this whole situation, so she can throw a party. Really? Really? I was very uncomfortable for that baby. And everyone, good point made. Why wasn't the parents strolling out Mecca? Why was the grandma strolling out Mecca? I would never want Sheree to be my grandma. She is too all about self. Isn't she a Capricorn? That's so not Capricorn-like. That's why you got to see people's full chart. Happy Leo season. Right. Oh, you know what, Aisha? Right? I was looking at those wheels. Those wheels look decrepit. Why did the wheels look like that? I said, why did stroller look like a casket? It was odd. It was odd to me. I don't know with Sheree. Lisa's too many germs around. I agree. That was way too many people. Okay, what I appreciate about the Real Housewives ladies is that they pull Bob aside. Sidebar, this is why Candy is Atlanta. She's the mayor of Atlanta. She's known Bob since she was 19 years old. She knows everybody in Atlanta. Her roots are strong in Atlanta. She's known Bob Whitfield since she was 19. Kenya met Bob when he was cheating on Sheree with someone else, her friend. Oh, what?
Lies, the lie.
So much stuff came out at this party. So they pulled Bob aside like, what? When did you have this child? And Bob is such a jokester. Like, I can't even take him serious. He's at this point, it's just like, whatever, Bob. He's like, well, wait till you meet the twins. Twins? You know, they took him serious for a second. Twins? Yeah, the twins. All right. If you're a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you guys on the community tab. So let me just do that now before I continue my conversation about the Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. If you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to let us know how you'd rate this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta as well. Hold on. Let me go here. Okay. Royal Court members, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you first. All right. And then I'll be dropping it for, actually, senior royals, I'll be dropping it for you first. And then Royal Court members, I'll be dropping it for you second. All right. So let me just do that now. Live chat. Once we get to 1,000 likes, I will drop the call in link for the general audience so they can share their thoughts as well. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok behind the scenes. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook as well. Royal Court members, we dropped the call in link for you. Oh, wait, there we go. And Team Kempire members, we're going to drop the call in link for you in just a second. All right. What else happened at this party that I wanted to talk about? Anything else? No. Basically, that was it. It wasn't a bad episode. If I had to rate this episode, it wasn't a bad episode. I'd probably give it an 8.5. I'd probably give it an 8.5. I'm a little upset that we're not going to see the party that happened for Kenya Moore's hair spa, because they promoted it in the beginning of the season. So I would have liked to see the progression of it to be honest with you, and then actually see it. Just saying. Claire says that I agree, Claire. Claire says the ladies' facial expressions were sending me. Candy's face, Kenya's, Cynthia's, and Monyetta's were too funny. Did you notice Sheree's friend? I saw a lot of people on social media highlighting her face, the one with the short hair, because when Sheree was finding out about Bob's his new daughter, her friend was just like, hell no. She was all of us. She was all of us. I know. I agree, Jola. Jola Marie says, I give it a 7. Bob made it better weirdly enough. I agree. Because he's such a fool. Such a fool. Let me say thank you, guys. We're almost at 1,000 likes. We appreciate you guys. Team Kempire members, we dropped the call link for you as well. To become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And for everything Kempire, including our merch, new merch is available at houseofkempire.com. Or if you go to TheKempire.com, click the shop button. Also at TheKempire.com, you can also get links to our podcast. A new episode came out yesterday, and it's called And Just Like That, It's Over. So be sure to check that out. All right. We have quite a few people backstage already. Shout out to our members. We appreciate your monthly support. Let me just say thank you. We had a couple of super chats that came in as well. Amina, thank you so much for the super chat. Amina says, producers are acting like the viewers have amnesia with Marlo, with this Marlo Halo edit. We can't unsee her horrible character. I always fast forward her scenes. Damn. Thank you so much for the super chat, Amina. I wish I could fast forward, but just in case I missed something, I do want to talk about it, especially because we were talking about foster care and how that doesn't, it's not talked about often. Shanice, thank you so much for the super chat. Shanice says, I've been rewatching seasons 9 and 10. What if Sheree got her money for Chateau Sheree from Tyrone? He embezzled over $4 million. I mean, that's been a rumor on the street for a while. I don't know if that's true, but people have speculated that for a long time. Don't be surprised if you see Tyrone do a book talking about it. Gwen, thank you so much for the super chat. Gwen says the Marlo pressure washing Kenya scene clipping and 7th grade Sheree as a whole irks me. Hashtag over RHOA. Damn, Gwen. Thank you for the super chat, Gwen. MJ, thank you for the super chat. MJ says, as much as I love to shade she who don't pay, I felt for her when Bob put her in yet another embarrassing public situation. He just doesn't respect her. I agree, because why would you wait till this moment that is being filmed because you signed a release, Bob? You know this is being filmed and you invite Candace to this event without giving Sheree a heads up. Joan, thank you so much for the super chat. Joan says, how does She by She Ain't launched yet make money? Well, that's a question we're all asking. Well, people have been buying merch. A lot of people haven't gotten merch, but people have been buying merch and it's overpriced. So it could be one of the ways that she's making money. Gwen, thank you so much for another super chat. Gwen says, Drew and Ralph are both whack. Shading Candy for no real reason, like her Oscars are collecting dust instead of her beauty supply store Jerry Curl. Y'all saw that last week. We talked about it. If you missed any of our recaps of Real Housewives of Atlanta, go back and watch it because it's always a key. Sylvia, thank you so much for the super chat. Sylvia says, just sending a little love, and I appreciate it. Look, we take all that love. Okay, thank you, Sylvia. We appreciate it. Cheryl Berry, thank you so much for the super chat. Cheryl Berry says, Bob hates Sheree. Come on. Come on. I mean, based off his behavior, it seems like it. Alexandra, thank you so much for the super chat. Alexandra says, love you, Kempire. Your facial expressions are everything. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jasmine, thank you so much for the super chat. Jasmine says, like the video. Thank you. Exactly, people. Like the video. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Also sharing the channel. We're almost at 300,000 subscribers. Help us get there by sharing. All right? Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a cousin, tell your coworker about what we're doing. Not just here on YouTube. Not just here on YouTube. We are creating content on Instagram, on TikTok. We're also creating content on Threads, Twitter. Be sure to check us out. Head on over to TheKempire.com for more details, including our podcast and our merch. Thank you, Jasmine. We appreciate your support as well. All right, let me switch this out so that we can get to the callers. Callers, you all will have 1 minute. 1 minute to share your thoughts. And please respect the timer because I got to go and watch Real Housewives of New York before I recap at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. All right? Or as Carlos says, Eastern. It's all right, Carlos. All right. As a reminder, callers, no profanity, no derogatory statements about anyone or anything, no fighting with people in the chat via here. And the opinions of the callers do not reflect the opinions of myself or my business or the Kempire LLC or our sponsors or Google or YouTube. Thank you. Okay. Moving on. And callers, once you've made your point, please drop out so other people can call in because I can see that we are full backstage. All right, Judgy Justice is first. We're going to bring her up. Hold on. Judgy
Winner,
Justice.
winner, chicken dinner. I'm excited.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm on a different device. I'm on my MacBook today.
Okay.
My apologies. Not my phone. But okay, so I'll make this fast. So congratulations for Drew for leaving Ralph because honestly, he's a menace. How you gonna make fun of me and then dap me up? Like that's a crime, sir. And then also, I was really upset because I'm a mom too. I can't imagine my kids knowing about there's another child out there. See the person out there and then not even say nothing to me. Like just give me a hint. Like even if you're not sure, Mom, I think that's that girl I told you back last year that he might have a daughter. That's that girl. Because my mom would have beat my butt in front of everyone, party or not. You're gonna sip and see this butt whooping if you're gonna have me embarrassed on national television like this. And that's it for me. It was a great episode. Bye.
Thank you, Judgy Justice. All right, we're going to bring up Alex next. Hold on. What's going on, Alex?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I'm sorry I didn't get to call in much last week. I was seeing Queen Mother B with Ralph in Tampa. Yeah, he got away from Drew for a minute. Anyway, I love to see Dr. Jackie, aka you would know Buffy, you're infertile. She was amazing. I love seeing her, but also, why don't y'all use Dr. Simone? That's my question. Why does no one famous ever? That face is making me crack up. Stop, please. Why does no one use Dr. Simone? Anyway, I actually liked this episode a lot, even though Bob is not a great person at all to me. He kind of made it better. He's still funny, even though he's a bad person. Imagine, even though he's your ex-wife, she's the mother of your children, and then bringing on a child that you knew it would be filmed, bringing her on and like throwing it on her. Like that is so wrong to me.
Yeah.
By the way, I feel like everybody, I loved Marlo's segment about foster care. Everybody wonders about how Marlo made her money, but how did Sheree make her money? Because Marlo talks about rentals, and I know that does bring in a bag because my parents have lots of rentals that bring in a bag. So that does explain something, but come on, Sheree, let's see how you make your money, Tyrone.
Goodbye, Alex. We're gonna bring up Brooklyn Star next, who's also just as shady. What's going on, Brooklyn Star?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Oh, how are you?
I'm good. This episode, I just had a bunch of questions, so bear with me. I want to know what illegal income Sheree's got coming in. I want to know the status of Bob's equilibrium because he is wibble wobbling everywhere. Every time you see him, like the ground is always moving. It gags me that Bob can show his face after he self-professed that he's an abuser. Bravo has no shame. Cynthia looked like money when she showed up. And I got cringe when Todd kept focusing on Drew. I got a weird vibe from it. Like, why are you all into Drew? Like, what's going on? Nobody asked the question about how Anthony and Martell know each other. How you doing? Okay. I would really like to know. And I told you in an earlier, like maybe last year, I know Sheree wasn't putting on the AC in that whole house. She just puts it in her bedroom and maybe the gym, okay? Because there ain't no way people are in there hot like that, okay? Everybody knows you have a gathering, you put on the AC at the lowest level, like an hour or two before people come, so it could be like chilly if you're going to have a lot of people. I knew. There's no way. She probably has over 4+ units. She's not putting all them on. That's all.
Thanks for the star by. Why are y'all this way? Why are y'all this way? I love it for us. All right, Obi's backstage. What's going on, Obi?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
Condolences to Sanya and Ross, but glad they had their rainbow baby. But you never announce a pregnancy before getting past the first trimester. Better even the second, especially not to a 5-year-old. But then again, it was a storyline, so we can't be mad at anyone trying to get the bag. If Money Shaw is going to be a bone carrier, at least get the story straight because clearly Ralph's cousin was pointing at Samia. If Kourtney Kardashian is going to lie, at least keep the lie straight because you can't claim to use the B word in one sentence and then use it in the next sentence. You really think Sheree didn't know about this outside baby when she literally knows everything about everyone? Ralph is an F boy and is clearly jealous of his wife, but is nothing compared to one eyed Bob because to keep that secret the whole marriage means he had zero respect for Sheree, and she may have sold her dignity for a check that didn't even continue in divorce because he never paid child support. That's it. Bye.
Bye, Obi. Woo, Miss Leah's backstage. We're gonna bring her up next. What's going on, Miss Leah?
And don't forget to hit your notifications, people.
Yes.
Okay, really quickly. We're going to make a motion that Drew get out of the Torres family because I don't understand her ethics. I don't understand her loyalty. She has none. And that's not like any Taurus I have ever at my big age. I have never ever met a Taurus that lies and that has no loyalty and that I never. But what I can say is that you got to be careful who you yoked with. The Bible says don't be unequally yoked, okay? They say that for a reason. And I know there are certain people that I know that have married the wrong people, that they became morphed into their bad habits. So I think she's not really she probably is a Taurus as far as the qualities that we know about, but because she married Ralph, it kind of like his bad habits kind of, she had to co-sign his bad habits. So that's all I have time for right now. So I'll see you at 5:30.
Thanks, Leah. All right. Born to Win's backstage. We're gonna bring them up next. What's going on, Born to Win? Born to Win, are you there? How come I can't hear you, Born to Win? Born to Win, drop out and call back in. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it gets a little glitchy. All right, Miss Bernice is backstage. We're gonna bring her up next. What's going on, Miss Bernice? Oh, wait.
What up, though? What up, though?
What's going on?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey, as a proud member of the Capricorn Nation, we do hereby reject Sheree. Hear ye, hear ye. Because people, the same thing with Giselle and Jamal. Giselle knew about all them outside babies. Sheree knew about that child. No, don't give me that. And y'all blaming Bob. Bob is an old retired lineman. He lucky he can get up and stand up straight. He wobbles because he got bad knees. Come on, people. Okay, Sheree paid Bob to come on there with the mysterious baby from the Petri dish to give her another storyline. They're going to use that for next season. Come on, people.
Oh, okay, Miss Bernice. All right.
Really? Yes. Yes. And Drew, you married the F boy that you should have kept on the side instead of you trying to make him into a husband. Bad mistake. Bad mistake. But other than that, love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Miss Bernice.
And I will be hearing you at 5:30.
All right. Bye. All right. Let me try Miss Born to Win again. Hold on. Born to Win, are you there? I can't hear you, Born to Win. Drop out and call back in, Born to Win. All right. Miss Sharon's backstage. You're going to bring up Miss Sharon. What's going on, Miss Sharon?
Hey, Kempire. How you doing?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I just came back from vacation.
Oh, must be
I was in hell. I was in Texas.
Oh.
What did
you think of this episode?
I gave it an 8. And the only reason why I gave it an 8 is because I love Bob Sip and See. I'm sorry. I love Bob.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's what I loved. And Kenya, I hope she holds on because help is on the way next season.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Figure it out, Kempire.
Oh,
Figure it
you're
out.
not going to tell us?
Nope.
Oh.
Because what if I'm wrong?
Oh.
But I'm hardly ever wrong.
Okay,
so,
Miss Sharon.
Yeah. Oh, and just a reminder, 2 more weeks, football. Bye, Kempire. See you later.
Take care, Sharon. Sharon is she's she's the head reporter on KSPN. Okay, just saying. All right, Wendy's backstage. You're gonna bring Wendy up next. What's going on, Wendy?
Hi, Kempire. How are
Hey,
you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am fine. Okay, so Miss Bernice, I second the emotion. I am a Capricorn, and I duly second the emotion that we reject Sheree, give them to the Geminis, and that's all I wanted to say.
Oh my god!
and y'all have a good day.
You too. Wow. Not give it to the Geminis. Sorry, Geminis, but I agree. Oh, all right. Miss Esquire's backstage. Hold on. Miss Esquire, what's going on?
Listen, I just want to say that the Virgos are coming out as the higher earth sign in this whole shenanigans, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Don't want to start any inter-earth sign war, but we ain't looking like y'all people on this show. Okay, so you know what? I would have never had it on my bingo card that Bob was going to come in and be the worst house husband of this season, but he almost gave Ralph a run for his money. I mean, I was disgusted by Ralph. I mean, absolutely throwing up in my mouth, disgusted by his behavior and his embarrassment of his wife, his condescension of her all throughout this season, not even just this episode. But bringing a baby into my home where I'm celebrating becoming a grandmother and thinking that that's a funny thing to do. It's just that he will never cease to amaze me in the ways that he is determined to bring Sheree down a peg. And he makes Sheree likable. And he also makes me understand some of her pathology around why she has to do things so big and so grand. Because being married to somebody like him, who is like constantly trying to bring you down, I can see why you might reach for that. Also, I think Sheree is an amazing visionary. I think she would be great as the head of a creative studio. She just doesn't respect logistics or process. So she would not make a good daycare planner.
Or pay.
And that's it.
Look, or pay people. Bye. All right. Ooh, hold on, Barry. Hold on. We're going to bring you up in just a second. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Again, please respect the timer so we can get to everyone that's waiting behind the scenes. I have to get off of here in the next 15 minutes because I have to rewatch Real Housewives of New York before a recap at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. All right. Let me just say thank you. Boho Brownie, thank you so much for the super chat. Boho Brownie says, crazy to see Courtney on Speak On It Next. She's on Speak On It Next. Come on. I know what I won't be watching. I can't. What is she going to say? Okay, she might say something about Drew and Ralph. So maybe. All right. Let's get into this. All right. Barry's backstage. We're going to bring Barry up next. What's going on, Barry?
Hey, not much. Enjoyed the episode, but I didn't really understand why the fake Cisco impersonator had to be there yet again. I don't know what the assistant's name is, but if he's
Anthony.
in marketing, why is he everyone's assistant? Unless he got his degree from DeVry, and it's useless. Like, you have a marketing degree, but you're working as Sheree's assistant who doesn't pay. That makes no sense. I mean, it's dumb at this point. And honestly, I think Bob is an abuser, but no one embarrasses Sheree more than herself.
Ooh.
She wants to say about Kenya doesn't bring men on the show. The fake love doctor that she had, Lyrone. She brought Bob back for a redo that was fake to begin with anyway, and he embarrassed her on TV. And now this fake relationship with Martell, which was a contractual obligation, it was cross-promoting for them, and it failed.
Oh.
But every time she wants to bring up Kenya, has Sheree ever had someone sit behind her at a reunion? One time, and it was Bob, and that was when he said, I should have choked you harder. So who's embarrassed themselves more on RHOA?
Right, Barry.
She wins.
He says she wins. Bye, Barry. We have the shadiest callers, and I love it for us. All right, we're going to bring up Monique next. What's going on, Monique?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm great. It's just good to talk to you again. I agree as a Leo. Much like a Taurus, I protect my space as well. I don't want nobody juices in my bed either. And as for Sheree, as a Capricorn, which my dad is, the organization and the meticulousness to detail, she don't have it. else, everything would already be done with her little line, the she by Shein or whatever, because they pay attention to all the details. Everything my dad does is meticulous. So I don't see it. But my daughter, she watched this show every week. I'll be missing it sometime. I have to watch you to know what's going on. She loved that Drew. She thinks it's good for the show, all the drama, but she loved Drew. She said, y'all need to leave Drew alone. So I told her I would tell you.
Thank you, Monique.
But that's all I had to say. I absolutely adore you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Look, I met Drew at BravoCon. I understand why Drew is likable. Drew is a likable person. She was very sweet. She understands what we do here. I like Drew. I don't like what Drew's bringing to the show. God, Drew. Just lying.
Lies. The lie.
Come on. All right. Jenna's backstage. We're going to bring Jenna up. I'm going to stop side talking because, we got to get things done. What's going on, Jenna?
How y'all doing? I'm late, so can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounded like I was garbled on my end. But I didn't hear any of the comments. I just jumped in after a meeting to say hi, but I will mention a few things about the show.
Jenna, we lost you.
Oh, you did? Oh no, I'm lost again.
There you go. Now I can hear you.
Oh no, I wasn't even gonna talk trash about Drew. She's trying to stop my live. So real quick, I just wanted to say that I think it's horrible the way Drew and Ralph are treating each other. But Ralph is definitely worse. And somebody mentioned something that spoke to me in terms of protecting your space. Bob would never be allowed anywhere near me. I don't care if it was the party for his grandbaby too. I wouldn't have invited him. We'd have had to have something separate. That man is horrible. Because anytime you just show, not only did Sheree invite him to her house, but then he brought a random child that she never even knew about. Nothing against the young lady. That's not her fault. That's the sins of her father, literally.
Mm-hmm.
But that is horrible. That man is the worst. And like the other caller mentioned, when he basically thought domestic violence was funny. I can't. That was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But they make themselves look bad with some of the men they pick. It's really unfortunate.
Mm.
But anyway, I'm gonna jump off. I see y'all later. Bye.
Thanks, Jenna. Take care. All right, we're going to get through all these other calls, guys. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 15. Next week is the season finale, and if you're not following us on TikTok, you missed our watch party for Atlanta and New York last night, so be sure to follow us on TikTok, at TheKempire. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. TikTok, let's get to 25,000 likes. Keep tapping your screens, and if you're watching us on YouTube, like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. If you're watching on Facebook, like us there. If you're watching on Twitter, I don't know what to do there. Retweet, share, follow, maybe? Okay. All right, let me get to the rest of the callers. Dewan is backstage. We're going to bring up Dewan next. What's going on, Dewan?
Hey, Kempire. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I was not expecting it to be this early. Let me just say, Drew is a liar. I'm so sick and tired of her. And I fell for her because I'm like, oh, my gosh, she's gorgeous, But it's just like, yo, you contradict yourself every episode. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be about food. It could be about a lawsuit. It's just like, really, Drew? You're too cute for that. I'm tired of Kenya, and I'm glad that it appears that she's going to at least take a season off. Now, I've never been the biggest Kenya fan, but I thought that the Carlos King's interview put her in a different light. But at the same time, I'm just like, what more are you going to complain about? I do agree that the production is maybe slightly trying to play you, but you just don't have an interesting story, Kenya. It's been an 8-year divorce. We're tired of Mark. Brooklyn is cute, but we can't get much from her. And that's why they didn't give you the spinoff. It's like, what do you want us to do, Kenya? Like, what do you want us to do? I just want to, thank you, Sheree, for bringing a tiny bit of extravagance to the episode. I love that they decked out Chateau Sheree. I honestly think she's running it as an Airbnb, which is smart. I don't think she lives there at all. I think it's solely used as a party/rental property, and I'm so sorry because I never go over time.
I know. Thanks, Dewan. Dewan's a mess. I can't. Alex is backstage again. Alex, what's going on?
Okay, wait. So I forgot to bring up, I did some research for you when you were talking about Drew's chart.
Uh-huh.
So she's a Taurus sun, a Virgo moon, and let me read it. Okay, a Leo rising.
Still doesn't make sense.
All of those are very loyal signs.
Yes.
So that doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe
she's loyal to a lie.
She's not. Maybe it's because she's a bad person. Oh, let me just say that. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to start back next time I call in about Atlanta. I'm going to continue talking about Candy because it seems that with her troubles with Xfinity, she does not have the power to cut my line. So
Lies!
I will continue to talk about you. Don Juan, Carmen, get off my phone. Thank you.
She gonna get you. You already know she's a witch doctor. That's what we surmised from the last time you called in. All right. Bob's love child has called in, so we're gonna bring them up next. Bob's love child?
Bob's love child and Martell's pink suit. Please don't forget about that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so I have questions and some statements, yeah? Carlos King, I don't like you. And I'm wondering, how does it feel to know your podcast is getting more viewers than them 4 failures you call shows? Yeah. Is it cousin Courtney or mistress Courtney? Because the way you invested in them people's failing relationship, it's giving side chick. Drew's sister's not even out here doing interviews claiming to know the ins and out of their relationship. All I'm saying is we need to see a 23andMe. Okay? Candy, for somebody that hate their reputation being played with, you sure do like to blur the lines of boundaries more often than not. I'm not going to say it's idiotic to bring actors to your home and have them do intercourse scenes in your marital bed. I'm going to just say don't do that no more. You and Todd being comfortable with that happening doesn't mean your actors are. Drew gonna lie more than she breathes, but at least she was on the mark, putting that production below Lifetime. Even Hallmark knows better. Since y'all have the coin to pay for locations, I started wondering, what will Todd do to save himself some of your money? Consider the way he forces Kayla to rub nickels and pennies together to make some dimes. I'll say anything above stealing it and remind him lawsuits cost more than location rentals.
All right, Kari. Thank you so much for calling in.
Bye, Alex. I had your back.
Y'all are a mess. All right. Y'all are so shady. Shanisha's backstage. We're going to bring Shanisha up next. Shanisha, what's going on?
Child, that last caller was brutal.
Right? Oh, my God.
Listen, I'm going to say this. I don't know why people are so surprised about Bob continuing to embarrass Sheree. Bob has been on an agenda to embarrass Sheree ever since Sheree stepped on the scene. I just personally feel like Sheree never saw it for Bob. I think she just attached herself to, I don't know if she met him while he was in the league or up and coming, but I think she saw an opportunity and she took it. And I think ever since she stepped on RHOA and dragged that man on Iyanla to fix their life, it's been downhill ever since. Next, Candy and Todd. I don't know why y'all is surprised about them having sex scenes in their bedroom because Candy and Todd had half of Atlanta in that dungeon.
Oh,
we know this.
Come on.
Of course they're going to save a little coin. They cool with it. Last but not least, Miss Kenya. I think Kenya is planning her exit strategy. And I'm sad to see my girl go, but I do agree with her. Ever since season 5, Kenya has been villainized. And for some reason, someone over at RHOA or the network is protecting Marlo and trying to clean her up a bit. And I don't think it's a job well done, but I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Kempire.
Thank you. Bye, Shanisha. You know why I love our callers and why I love our community? Because everyone can get it. Everyone can get it. We don't choose sides over here because at any moment, anyone can get it. Please understand. All right? All right. I didn't expect that one. All right. Nicole, we're going to bring up next. What's going on, Nicole?
Hey, Kempire. How are you doing?
Oh, how are you?
You're looking good with your muscles. If I was gay and a man, I'd get on you. Humping. I'll just say so. But I just want to say about Sheree. Oh my God, girl, with Bob. Like, it reminds me of the 1950s. Like, you know, when you have the husband and the wife, and then down the corner, like R. Kelly, they found out, or, you know, the father living down the corner somewhere. Like, come on now. Like, I feel like she knew something. It was a 20-plus year marriage. She turned the other way. So what I'm saying is this: is like, Sheree, wake up. That girl looked just like your husband. She knew something, and I think she's playing it with, you know, the whole, like, trying to get the storyline with Martell and whatever else. But She knew about that because the women I know in the Southern culture, like when you have all those men around, like I grew up with cousins where they found out where they're, I'm just saying, like they're, people in their classrooms where they're brothers and sisters. So that's what I'm saying. But leave Kenya alone. Leave Kenya alone. And I love how you protecting Kenya. I love how you protecting Kenya. I see how you're doing. You putting a story out the right way. I see what you're doing. All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
I do.
Thanks for calling. Bye. All right. We're going to bring up Audrey next, guys. We're going to take Audrey, Coasted, Born to Win, and Retha. They will be the last caller. So anyone that's calling in now, sorry, can't take you. We will be live again for our Real Housewives of New York recap at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. PST. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. Let's get to 25,000 likes. Keep tapping your screens. If you're watching on YouTube, we have over almost 2,500 of you watching on YouTube. We appreciate you taking time out of your afternoon to be here for our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. Stay tuned for more if you enjoy content like this, but please understand, we don't just talk about reality TV here. We cover everything in pop culture, and that is what we will be discussing tomorrow during our Tuesday takeover at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. PST. We have to talk about 90 Day Fiancé and all their iterations and some pop culture news, so be sure to subscribe and turn on your notification so you don't miss out on any of it. Let me bring up Audrey next. What's going on, Audrey?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Ooh, yep, I just shook the table. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm in another country right now. Very the White Lotus experience right now. I'm the one who lives in Atlanta. I'm waiting for my room to be ready. So I'm like, let me tune in. And there you are. So I just want to say, real quickly, I really didn't like the Bob thing. I just thought it was super disrespectful. It really is representative of what goes on in Atlanta. If you remember a few seasons ago when Kandi was trying to explain to Mama Joyce why she doesn't date ballers and, these multimillionaires in Atlanta. Remember she said they have multiple women. That is what happens in Atlanta. I just thought it was really disrespectful. Like I didn't think it was cute. And Sheree better than me because I would have put both of them out of my house like immediately. Let's take off these microphones and I'm not here for it. You're going to have to leave my house now. But also, I did like the shades of brown. It was a very like a throwback Real Housewives moment when they were all confronting him. I just thought that shot of them all standing together, looking at him like, what? Was very old school Real Housewives of Atlanta. But anyway, I just really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was one of the better episodes. I want to see more of the Drew thing. I'm just surprised that's going to end next week. It's like, no, we needed to drag this out, producers. Like, anyway. But I did enjoy the show. I enjoy watching you all the time. Again, I'm in another country, but I will continue to watch your recaps. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Take care. Bye. All right. We're going to bring up Coasted next. What's going on, Coasted? Hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. Hey, it's so good to be here.
Thank you.
This is my first time ever calling. It's so good to talk to you. I'm such a huge fan.
Thank
you. I wanted to say that I really like how they're showing Marlo and her scenes with the adoption agencies and the foster care. Like I wish they do more of that to show more of like a human side of her. And as far as Kenya, I mean, she's a villain. So I mean, she can't be upset about being villainized. She's a mean girl. And what's the saying? Like you get more bees with honey or something like that. I don't think she's a sweet or nice person.
Okay.
But and then the whole thing about Kandi and them filming in her bed, that is so freaking weird. Like that's their marital bed. Like why would anybody be okay with that? That is so weird. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
This is so cool. I'm just so happy to see you right now.
Thank you, Coasted. We appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
Take care.
No problem. Bye.
I love hearing everyone's reaction to some of what we watch in this episode, including Kandi. Kandi did say on the after show she changed the sheets. No. All right, we're gonna bring up Born to Win next. What's going on, Born to Win?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey, we can hear you. I'm well. How are you?
Good, good. Okay, so I think sometimes whenever I have my thoughts in my head, then the callers call in and then they switch my whole little thing. But anyways, I wanted to say that I think Sheree knew about this girl already. Sheree just don't ever give you a genuine, you know, response, especially when it comes to things that most women would be like, what? Excuse me? Like, she just don't give you authentic response. I don't believe that she didn't know. I truly believe that she knew. There's no way your kids are going to be hanging around this girl during holidays and other things, and then no one slipped up and told you that. One of the kids came back and said something. I promise you, she knew. This is just a storyline for her, so she can return next year. So, anyways.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think Kenya is out the door, and it's sad for me to think that because I absolutely love her. So, but I'm just gonna hold my thoughts until tomorrow after or whenever you do the live.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot to say about that, so I'll be first in line. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Born Twin, for waiting and calling back in. Bye. All right, and last but definitely not least, we got She by Shein backstage. We're going to bring up next. What's going on, Shein by Shein?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just wanted to say I was watching that episode, and oh my goodness. First of all, Sheree's party. I think that they had intended initially to have Kenya's opening of her salon probably be the final thing. You know, they always have a final party at the end of the season. And whatever happened with production, they threw that mess together for Sheree at the last minute. And I think they paid for that party. Production paid for that party. She did not pay for that. You know good and well, Sheree won't pay nobody. So you know she did not pay for that party. That's number one. And number two, I really do hope Kenya does not leave because no one can read like Miss Kenya. No one can. But I agree that she's been bored this season and she hasn't had a worthy adversary. Marlo is not worthy. Marlo cries whenever somebody hurts those big old man feelings of hers. So that's all I got to say.
Thanks,
Have a good one.
Shim. Take care. Bye. I love her mess. Mess. All right. All right. Perfect timing. All right. First of all, thank you to everyone that called in. We appreciate you all taking time out of your afternoon. I know some of you are on lunch. Some of you are coming back from lunch. We appreciate you being a part of our live recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch. And of course, shout out to everyone watching on Twitter. And of course, here on YouTube. We cannot do these live shows with very differing opinions without our King's Guard. So be sure to thank our moderators for being here and holding us down. They will be holding us down during our Real Housewives of New York recap, which will be at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And of course, tomorrow we will be live for our Tuesday takeover. We'll be covering a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. So be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any of it. And if you haven't liked this video already, what are you doing? What are you doing? Be sure to like the video. And if you didn't know, a new episode of our podcast, Kempire Radio, dropped yesterday. So be sure to check that out. And as always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform. Let's get out of here with some music, and I will see you all in the next video. All right? Bye, y'all. Thanks for being here.
It's been dark way too long in this place. That bright smile long gone been replaced. From ear to ear I see that fear in your face. Tell me when the last time you felt safe, cause there's some evil people in the streets. Evil at your front door, creeping while you sleep. It's time to raise up, show that evil we ain't weak. We don't turn the other cheek, I can show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. We go through bad days, hard times, low pay, high crime, pathways to a life without sunshine. I'm the lifeline. With this life, I'm gonna be the pipeline, shining in the nighttime. Bet on me to swoop down. I'ma go toe to toe. Already know that I'm never gonna back down. Bet on me to stand tall. I take on anything for my crew. Bet I risk it all. Wicked people in the streets. Corruption in the politics and the police. It's time to raise up. Take a stand against the seat. We won't take a back seat. I can show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. Get back up. Get back up. Get back up. If I get knocked down, I'ma get back up. If I get knocked down, I'ma get back up. If I get knocked down, I'ma get back up. I'ma get back up. I'ma get back up. I'ma Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, no more running from that bad guy. Don't worry about it. I'm right here. What's up? I know that journey been hard for you. Okay, I ain't giving up. We ain't giving up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked